Hi everyone, Shadow of the Colossus is a beautiful game. It's got great world building, really nice music, but the thing I like most about the game is the character design of the 16 Colossi. For those who don't know, in Shadow of the Colossus your goal is to hunt down these 16 big golem-like creatures, and you have to defeat each one in a kind of boss battle. I first came across the designs for these Colossi along with a couple that didn't make it into the game when I was doing my GCSE art. So that's about 5 years ago now, and since then I've always thought big Earth Golem-like creatures are kinda cool, but why are the designs in Shadow of the Colossus particularly good? I think one reason is that they demonstrate a good use of shapes. Each Colossus has a completely unique composition which affects its demeanour and the way it moves. For example, the first Colossus is broad and heavy set with big rocky shoulders, and this means it kind of lumbers about. Its head is also square to its shoulders, which means it leans forwards, and obviously it holds this huge mace, so its arms kind of swing low down by its side. The third Colossus is taller, so it sways about more side to side as it walks, but similar to the first one, it's holding this huge stone obelisk as kind of a sword, and so its arms also hang low down by its sides. The fourth Colossus stands on 4 legs with pointed ends, which means it kind of tiptoes about. It also has a really long neck, so it's always stooping down to look for where the player is. Number 11 is a lot smaller, it's kind of like a dog, so it's much faster in the way that it moves, and it charges about everywhere. There's one that's like a bird, there's one that's like a snake, there's one that's more like a lizard, it kind of climbs the walls. And you get the point, there's a lot of individuality and they're all quite unique. There are some aesthetics which tie them all together though. One thing I think which is very cool is how the ruined architecture that you see around the game world is kind of incorporated into each of the designs. If we look at number 3 again, you can see that it has lots of intricate stonework around it. It's kind of almost like stone armour. And in a similar way, some of the Colossi also wear masks and things that have the same patterns and textures. It's difficult to get technical about what makes these designs so aesthetically pleasing, and I'm certainly not clever enough to explain it. But I guess what I think is most important about the way the Colossi have been designed is not just that they're big and intimidating and powerful, but also they have kind of a gentleness about them. Although your goal in the game is to defeat each one of them in battle, I couldn't help feeling a little bit sorry for them. There's something about these big, slow-moving giants that's kind of endearing. Look at this guy, he's so dopey, I love him. Now, as I've said in previous episodes of my making an animated film series, I want to have a big Earth Golem within my story, and I want him to be a friendly guy. Now, I have tried to draw this Earth Golem a couple times before, but limitations with my drawing ability and more my brain capacity have meant I've always found it a bit frustrating. It hasn't really gone that well in the past, and although I'm sure this time will be much of the same, playing Shadow of the Colossus again a couple months ago has really inspired me to try again. So that's what I'm going to go and do now, and I suppose we'll see how it goes. So as you can see, I started out with a couple of what can only really be called abominations. I really struggled to get the shape of my golem. I wanted him to be cute and bulky, but what it comes down to is I have no real idea of how to do arms and legs, so it took me a while to come up with anything even reasonably good. As you can see, I've given him a very dopey face. I wanted him to look kind of content and zen, so I've given him a cute little smile. I also played around with him having this love heart thing in the middle of his chest. I thought that would be quite sweet, and considering the idea is that this golem started out as a seed in a bamboo forest, I thought maybe it would work kinda well. I don't know, let me know if you like the heart idea in the comments, I guess. I did incorporate a bit of ruins as well, you know, some Colosseum type walls across his midriff, which looks okay. And then the other thing of note, I suppose, is that it kind of looks like he's got ears, but they're actually 2 sort of pillars of rock sticking out from either side of his head. I realise it is a bit strange position wise, but for some reason I think it works. Yeah, overall I think I'm happy with this design. I realise it's not the highest quality drawing ever, but he's kinda dopey and I like him. This next piece is pretty terrible. It didn't really go as planned, but at least it lets me explain the golem's role in the film. If you want a better explanation, you can go and watch the rest of the series on my channel, but just to summarise quickly, the party venture into a bamboo forest where they meet a panda. The panda is the king of the forest and welcomes them to stay the night with him, but while they sleep, disaster strikes and other competitors burn the forest to quicken their travel. The panda asks the main characters to find the heart of the forest, which manifests itself in the form of a big glowing seed. The main character is led to the seed by a parade of rain spirits, and upon interacting with the seed, it transforms into a huge golem, which is the guy I've drawn today, and he uses his nature magic to rejuvenate the forest. In return for their help, the panda tells the golem to give the party a ride across the forest on his back, and the picture I've drawn here is the golem letting the party off at the other side of the forest. Yeah, with this piece, I just couldn't get the perspective right. The golem's arms are not the right shape or length. The only thing I kind of like is that I added a flower to the top of the golem's head, which is kind of cute. But anyway, those are the drawings that I did today, and it's back to me in the studio. So there we have it, everyone. I don't know, as predicted, I did find it quite difficult to draw. I think there's definitely a difficulty in kind of refining a style, especially when you don't have like loads of control over the way that you draw. But onwards and upwards from here, that's what I say. Despite how tricky I might have found it, it is kind of fun to design different golem creatures like this. So if you are thinking of trying that at home, you can send them to me on my Discord in the Show Us Your Art section. It would be kind of cool to see how other people's golems end up. And I suppose that's it for this video. It feels like it's going to be quite a short one, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I'm just going to go and awaken the spirit of the forest in real life, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.